I'm Eric Green with Acosta, and we're here to do a French fry cutting today. We're going to cut the Value Way fry versus the Monarch. The Monarch is an extra long fancy fry, and the Value Way is a B grade. Cut the fries. We're going to use a 5-pound bag, and we're going to have them sized. They're greater than 4, 3 to 4, 2 to 3s, and less than 2. So we're going to take 2 5-pound bags and line the fries up according to their length. And basically, before we get started, we're going to see the birth seal of these fries. Where are they from? What part of the country? The Value Way says Fargo, North Dakota. So that means that it is a Midwest fry.
And this is Idaho.
And that one's Idaho, so that is a Northwest fry.
Right.
Basically, your Northwest potato French fries have a better taste to them. So anyway, what I'll do, I'm going to...
Also a better growing season, yes?
Better growing season. There's 4 major growing seasons, 4 major growing areas in the United States. You got the Northeast, which is basically New York up through Maine. And then you've got the Midwest, which is the Dakotas, Minnesota, and in Canada over the Great Lakes. And the Northwest, which is Idaho, Washington, Oregon. The Northeast has a growing season of 110 days. It is a rocky, sandy soil. The Midwest is 120 days. It is a clay sand soil. And then the Northwest is a volcanic ash. In Idaho, the growing season is 130 days. In Washington, Oregon, the growing season is 160 days. Basically, the largest potatoes will come from the Washington, Oregon area. You will find potatoes. Sometimes they will be the size of a midget football. That's how large they will grow there. The volcanic ash is very loose soil.
Lets them spread out while they're growing.
Lets the potatoes spread out while they're growing.
Right on.
Then when you got in the Midwest, it's a clay soil, so it's kind of like 3 people in the back seat of the car. They can't move. Right. And then what does rocks do for a potato trying to grow around a rock as far as the Northeast? So your best growing area in the world, or the best growing area on this planet, is the Washington, Oregon border.
Okay.
And it's basically it's the desert area of the Washington, Oregon. Now we're going to grab a bag of each. First thing I noticed, I can right off the bat tell you this is a B grade fry. Look at the water at the outside of this bag, and look at the one for your extra long fancy. When processing at a plant, B grade fries, line flow fries, they're cut, they're par fries, and then they're frozen. This fry has gone through 2 additional steps to take water out of it.
Want to show them the color difference? So the 2 additional steps are what?
It is an air dry process, and then an additional frying. So you can
Definitely
see
more golden there.
You
Yeah.
can see the difference in the look of the potatoes.
Right.
So
how many pounds of water is in that box versus how many pounds of water in this box?
this box has 9 pounds of water. The most expensive water you will buy comes in this box of French fries right here.
Right.
Usually your Monarch fries, it's going to be about, say, 27.5, 26 pounds of French fries. Well, this is 21 pounds of French fries. These French fries have been processed.
4 pounds of water in this one?
There's 4 pounds of water in that box.
Right on.
So basically, and these fries weigh less because more water's been taken out of them.
Okay.
All right, now we'll start the cutting. And what you do also in this cutting, you see where this piece a little bit goes into the blue,
Mm-hmm.
so you move it over to the next section.
Okay.
So like the whole fry has to be in the white.
All right. I think just look at the difference, and especially watching this in time lapse as these piles kind of increased and got larger here versus here, it's a pretty significant indicator as to the difference in quality, the difference of longer potatoes being used and that type of thing. And then on those plates up front, we also had 4 ounces of each that were put together with just a hamburger bun on the plate to show the difference in plate coverage that you get with a little bit larger potato than you do with the one that has a tendency to have a lot more smaller pieces.
And we had like 4 ounces of Monarch weighed 3 1/4 ounces after we cooked them off.
Right.
And then the 4 ounces of the Harvest Value weighed 2 3/4 ounces. So it lost 1 1/4 ounces, just from frying it. That's how much water was in that serving.
And when we were frying it up, as soon as you dropped the value fry, they just started bouncing around in the fryer.
Above the water,
which,
you can see the water
you
coming
can just
out.
see them bouncing around in there. And also remember that additional water contributes to degradation of your oil, a shorter oil life. So over time, that actually increases your cost of the oil, which the oil is the most expensive thing that you use in pretty much all of your fried items. So at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to count up each one of these sides. One quadrant would be the Monarch, the other one will be the Value Way. We're going to get a percentage of the cuts, so a percentage of the over 4s, a percentage of 3 to 4s, percentage of 2 to 3s, and the percentage of 2 to unders. And then once we get that tabulated, we'll come back and show all of this hard data once we're finished with that. Right on?
After the cutting, the Value Way versus the Monarch, total number of pieces greater than 4. Value Way, there were 24 pieces, so basically 5% of the case was pieces greater than 4. With the Monarch, it was 57 pieces, so 15% of the fries were over 4 inches. Then with the 3 to 4, the Value Way had 80, which was 18%. Monarch had 155, which was 39%. And then with 2 to 3s, the Value Way, there were 217 pieces or fries, which was 49% of the case. With the Monarch, it was 133 pieces, 33%. Then the less than 2s, the Value Way had 124 pieces, which was 28% of the case. The Monarch 55, which was only 13% of the case. What we're trying to also show the operator is the stackability of the longer fry. Value Way is a B grade. The Monarch is an extra long fancy, and the Monarch exceeded the cutting.
So I see this Fargo, North Dakota B and the Burley, Idaho XLF. What does that mean?
Right. That means with the USDA extra long fancy, the requires that you have to have at least 30% of the French fries over 3 inches, and the Monarch exceeds it by, it's 54% of the fries. So that was a great cutting. Then with the less than 2s, you can only have a maximum of 20%, where we only had 13, so the Monarch fry did real well with the cutting. With the B grade, 15% can be greater than 3 inches, and the Value Way exceeds it by you got 23%, and then you can only have a maximum of 40% less than 2, and it's only 28% less than 2. So it was in spec also.
So ultimately, at the end of the day here, what we really have shown is how to do a proper fry cutting, how to look underneath the box to see, if somebody says my fry is only $20, you turn it up and it's from New York. Well, no wonder it's only $20. Right. It's not. It's going to eat like it's from New York.
Right.
So
Correct.
I think the first thing the TM needs to do is make sure they tip up the box, figure out what the point of origin of this potato was, and then definitely being able to see the differential in color. Only a one-step process here. It's cut, it's blanched, it's frozen. There, it's air dried, it's blanched, and then blast frozen after that. The difference in the amount of water that's in each one of these boxes, I think, is important. And the takeaway really is, this is how that you try to tell someone that says, no, I only want an $18 fry. just how much more beneficial it is, and they'll actually get more portions out of the better fry. Is that correct?
That's correct. Basically, what we're trying to do is get them to realize the return on his investment. If he gets more servings out of the case, the additional servings will pay for the next case.